Game of the week took place in Ranko Žerovica Hall in Belgrade, where only one team's unbeaten streak was left alive. Make it 7 out of 7 for the defending champion Crvena Zvezda, with the latest win coming in Bar. Counted 4 wins in a row for Cibona, while Karpoš remains the only winless team in ABA League. As usual, we wrap it up with top 5 plays of the round. Welcome to ABA Magazine. Cibona signed a new point guard, American Scotty Reynolds. Former Villanova Wildcat traveled from the Philippines to the South America, with stints in Europe from Turkey to Italy to the Czech Republic, arriving to Zagreb from the ranks of Israel's Hapoel Holon. In hopes to finally feel the taste of victory in the regional competition, Karpoš Sokoli added Goran Vrbanc to its roster. Croatian veteran spent several seasons in ABA League with Cibona, Zadar, Zagreb and Široki. With injuries to Drenovac, Simonovski and Šalon Klov, MZT decided to strengthen its rotation by adding Stojan Đurovski. Macedonian champion signed an open contract with a member of the Macedonian national team. Poor start to the season sent Cedevita into rebuild mode. Marko Tomas is back with the team coached by Veljko Mršić, replacing Scottie Hobson. Tomas spent 3 years with Cedevita from 2012 to 2015. He averaged 12 points and 3 rebounds per game with Turkish Tech College in the previous season. Two undefeated teams squared off in New Belgrade's Ranko Žerovica Hall. Budućnost came out on top against Partizan 64-61, even though it couldn't count on Gordić and Sead Šehović in front of 5,000 frenetic Partizan fans. The visiting team started off strong in a tough defensive matchup, marked by missed jumper on both sides of the court. Rare three-pointers gave Budućnost the edge, as the visiting team hit 3 of their 5 long-distance shots in the first 13 minutes. With the home team down 27-13, Frank Robinson and Novica Veličković ignited the crowd with some great plays on the offensive end. Veličković was back in the lineup after missing the game against Beşiktaş. Coach Aleksandar Džekić's team went on an offensive tear, scoring 24 and allowing only 3 points to grab a 7-point lead at the halftime. Inspired offense disappeared in the third, as the Black and Whites managed to score only 9 points. Budućnost struggled on offense as well, but cut the deficit to a single point entering the fourth quarter. Partizan went only 3 for 25 from the 3-point line, and it became increasingly hard for the home team to score, as Budućnost kept the driving lanes closed, adding only 3 points in 6 minutes of the fourth period. Montenegrin champion took advantage of the home team's offensive famine and raced to a 7-point lead through Reynolds and James. However, it did not put an end to the excitement in the legendary sports venue. With a 12-2 run, highlighted by a 3-pointer from Robinson and free throws by Veličković, Partizan took the lead back 61-58. A moment of truth came for the visiting team as Marcus Williams rose up for the 3-point jumper. As it went in off the backboard, Williams, who didn't leave much of an impression up to that point, was fouled on the play by Robinson. Veteran point guard drained the free throw, giving his team a 1-point lead. Partizan missed 2 opportunities to win the game, and following Marinkovic's ill-advised jumper, Williams closed the game out from the free throw line. He was the top scorer for the winners with 13 points, while James added 1 less. Veličković was the top scorer for the home team with 15, Lukovic stopped at 12, Robinson added 11, while Hatcher was held to only 6. Both teams have tough matchups coming up as Budućnost will host Cibona, while Partizan will meet Crvena Zvezda in the Eternal Derby. A visit to Bar didn't hurt the unbeaten streak as Crvena Zvezda beat Mornar 71-59. The home team couldn't count on Cole Dickerson, while the visiting team presented its latest addition, Nate Walters, to the public. Both teams were worn out by tough matchups in the European competitions. Mornar had a long road to and from the Canary Islands, while Crvena Zvezda faced both Barcelona and Panathinaikos in EuroLeague. Coach Georgije Pavicevic's team found better rhythm in a low-scoring affair. Crvena Zvezda took 6 minutes to score its first field goal, while Jones and Radunovic led the home team to a double-digit lead twice. Coach Dan Radonjic's team found some offensive rhythm through Simonovic as he drained 2 3-pointers. He also made his presence felt on the defensive end with 2 steals. By the halftime, the visiting team was back in the fight, cutting the deficit to a single point. The game was decided in the third period as Mornar was held to only 5 points in the first 7 minutes. At the same time, Kuzmic established himself in the paint and sparked an 18-5 run. That was all as far as the excitement went for the crowd of 4,000 in the stands as Crvena Zvezda closed out its 7th win. Simonovic led the scoring list with 14 points, Jenkins added 2 less, while Kuzmic contributed to the win with 11. Waller went MIA for the home team, going 1 for 10 from the field. In Mornar's 5th defeat this season, Lamont Jones stood out with 13 points, while Radunovic added 2 less. Marko Simonovic's performance is one of the reasons why Crvena Zvezda's wins never stopped coming. His numbers and statistics are well known, but we will hear from the Serbian national team member himself how it all started way back. I was introduced to basketball rather late. Kids mostly start practices around the age of 10, while I made my first steps on the basketball court at 13, 14 with Radnički Jugopetrol. It used to be a strong club with great coaches, participating in the lower ranks of the Serbian national championship. It used to be a very strong competition. This was way before ABA League even existed. I played for Radnički's cadet and junior level teams. It didn't take long before I signed my first professional contract and reached the senior circuit level with Lavovi.
Potpisao profesionalne ugovore za neke druge klubove i prvo su išli Lavovi, to je, ja mislim, i bivša Beobanka, da su oni nešto fuzionisali, tako nešto, i onda je sve tako krenulo.
Following his rookie ABA League season with Hemofarm Vršac, Simonovic signed on with Budućnost. Hemofarm was a great organization, perfect for a young and up-and-coming player to get some recognition and an opportunity to make a name for himself. It's a rare opportunity for a young man to get a shot in a team that's in the top of the highest level of competition, with a roster full of great players. I was just one of a number of players that developed and improved with Hemofarm. However, it was Coach Radonjic that helped my career the most, while I was with Budućnost in Podgorica. Those were some good times. His path would take him to Berlin, to the ranks of Alba. It was quite a challenge for a young man, but Simonovic knows it's all just a part of life for a professional basketball player. It has its advantages. You get to learn different languages, get introduced to different cultures, and broaden your horizons in general. However, I do count myself lucky because I got to play for so long in my hometown of Belgrade. It's so much easier and I feel more comfortable. But playing in other countries does have its advantages, without a doubt.
Znači, taj odlazak u inostranstvo ima neku svoju priču.
A return to Crvena Zvezda seemed inevitable following an episode in France.
Ja to vidim iz dana u dan da...
Day after day, I realized just how great this club is, how large and great is the fan base, how much they love the team. It's impossible to stay unmoved by the support and impassionate. It just motivates you even more. It's such a great feeling. It means a lot to me to be back in my hometown and playing in front of a home crowd.
Ovdje u Beogradu i stvarno pričinjava pravo zadovoljstvo.
His jumper is a game changer. Simonovic points out the importance of hard work in practice for the necessary confidence. Hard work is paramount. You have to work on your shooting skills every day. I remember even as a kid working on the mechanics to bring them to that perfect, natural and fluid motion.
Do tog nekog prirodne pozicije kako to tom igraču odgovara.
Every player has a different comfort zone, a different setup, release point. It's all about mechanics, working them up to perfection, followed by repetitions. Thousands and thousands of shots made in practices, spot-up shots off the dribble in motion. Confidence comes as a result of hard work, much like anything else in life. When you've done something so many times successfully, you stop thinking about it. It just becomes a part of you. Simonovic was honored to be a part of the Serbian national team that took part in the World Championship and Olympic finals. It's a privilege and honor to play for the national team, especially the national team of Serbia. It's such a privilege to stand next to players such as Bjelica and Teodosic, to work with coaches who were themselves great players, the likes of Sasha Djordjevic. You simply have to do your best. From the very first day we get together, you just get the feeling you are in a different dimension. It's a different plane of basketball existence, as we like to say. It's priceless. Priceless.
Jer to nema cenu.
His career plans all revolve around one thing: Crvena Zvezda. I just hope we play well, continue the winning ways, and with the help of our fans, I believe we can reach our goals. We will see what happens in the EuroLeague. What's important is that we are improving every day. We take a step forward, both as a team and individually, with every game and every practice. I just hope we avoid injuries, and it should all work out well for us.
Idemo za po jedan stepenik gore i što je najbitnije za svakog sportistu da ostanemo zdravi.
An excellent first period against FNP gave Cibona the fourth consecutive and sixth overall victory. 18-year-old Aleksa Radanov made his ABA League debut, missing out on the action so far due to injury, but it seemed nothing could help FNP avoid defeat in Zagreb. With only one missed field goal, coach Damir Molomerovic's team took the lead in the first period, 29-12. Offense was stagnant for the visiting team, with Dragan Apic being the only consistent option, scoring 8 points in the first 10 minutes. Cibona never took the foot off the gas pedal, grabbing a game-high 26-point lead midway through second quarter and holding it all the way to the halftime score of 54-28. The home team shot an unbelievable 87% from the field in the first half, and it was evident that the visitors had no shot at avoiding defeat. Coach Slobodan Klipa's team managed to soften the blow in the fourth quarter with a better grip on the defensive end. Ante Žižić led his team to another win with 19 points and 9 rebounds. Nik Slavica played an important role off the bench with 15 points and 13 rebounds. Dusan Kutlešić was FNP's top scorer with 17 points. It seems the shock therapy was just what the doctor ordered for Cedevita following a home loss to Krka. Cedevita beat Igokea in Laktaši 84-69 to grab the fourth win in the regional competition. Marko Tomas impressed in his return to the team after a year-long absence, replacing Scotty Hobson, who was released earlier this week. Kaloš Ganec was absent with back spasms, but it didn't hold Cedevita back. Showing no signs of fatigue, the visiting team out-hustled Igokea and grabbed a 9-point lead at the halftime. The game was decided in the third period. An 18-2 scoring run gave Cedevita a commanding 28-point lead. For the first time this season, Cedevita had a double-digit number of three-pointers, 10 out of 22 attempts, while Igokea struggled with shooting percentages and rebounding. Luka Babic stood out for the winning team with 17 points and 6 assists. Marko Tomas added 14 points in his first game back, shooting 4 for 5 from the three-point range. With 21 points and 7 assists, only Robinson left a good impression in Igokea's third consecutive and fourth overall defeat this season. With a win over MZT 87-72 in Sremska Mitrovica, Megalex put an end to a 5-game losing streak. Both teams were missing some key pieces, but the loss of Spasojevic didn't hurt the home team as much as the visiting team was missing the injured Simonovski, Drenovac and Klov. Megalex started off well, with Kaba leading the way, but MZT responded with Lalic taking advantage on pick-and-roll plays. With 3-pointers from Čančar, coach Dan Milovic's team raced to a 5-point lead after 10 minutes. Jovan Novak added to a 3-point barrage, but turnovers proved costly for the home team, as their lead shrunk to 4 at the halftime. Kaba protected the rim and dominated in both paints in the second half, but MZT found a way to stay in the game, scoring from the free throw line. Zagorac led Megalex's charge to a more comfortable 8-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Taking advantage of MZT's turnovers, the home team took care of business and with 23 points and 4 3-pointers from Čančar, won for the first time since the opening round. Rade Zagorac added 19 points while Alfa Kaba chipped in with 12 points and 18 rebounds, 11 on offense. Team from Skopje had to settle for the 6th defeat despite a 22-point effort from Josh Scott. Lalic scored 15 in only 15 minutes of game action, sitting out the entire second half. Macedonian national team member Stojan Đuroski scored only 6 points in his debut. In the opening game of the round, Krka came out on top against Zadar 80-79 in a dramatic finish. Zadar arrived with only 10 players in rotation and saw a 5-game win streak in all competitions come to an end. However, it was the visiting team that jumped out of the gate to grab a 5-point lead with 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Krka responded with a scoring run. Elliott played well on both ends of the court and helped his team race to a game-high 7-point lead. Zadar never gave up, and with a scoring run of its own, the visiting team went on a break with a 45-44 lead. Both teams missed some open looks in the third quarter until Ron Curry sparked up Krka's offense with his smooth jumper. With the lead changing hands in the third period, Marko Lukovic hit a buzzer-beating 3 to give his team a 1-point lead. Teams traded shots in the fourth quarter, but Zadar was unable to deliver the final blow. Marinkovic missed 3 out of 4 free throws and a layup, allowing Curry to play the hero for his team. Zadar took a timeout, but Barac couldn't come up with a Hail Mary. Marko Lukovic led Krka to its third win this season with 19 points and 10 rebounds. Curry added 14, while Marinkovic led the losing side with 24 points and 10 rebounds. There was adamant drama in Skopje as well, as Olimpija beat Karpoš Sokoli 87-83 in overtime. Croatian veteran Goran Vrbanc made his debut for the Macedonian team, but even his experience didn't help as the home team scored its first points midway through the first quarter. Jankovic helped Olimpija grab a double-digit lead, but the home team finally found some offensive rhythm and managed to reduce the deficit by the end of the first period. Peri and Labovic brought Karpoš to within 2 in the second period, but Mulalic came off the bench with 2 3-pointers, foreshadowing a shooting clinic he was about to hold. Devin Oliver finally found his rhythm with 5 consecutive points for a 38-30 Olympia lead at the halftime. For the most of the third period, Olympia held a double-digit lead, but Vrkić, Penov and Vrbanc reduced it to 5 from the free throw line. In the fourth period, Karpoš players finally found their touch from the three-point range and grabbed the lead with 2 minutes left to play, 66-65. Mulalic played an important role for the visiting team. He was fouled on a successful three-pointer and followed up with a mid-range jumper for a 71-69 lead. Mavra's free throws tied it at 71. Jefferson gave Olympia the lead, but Mavra sent the game to overtime with 4 seconds left to play. Kasper Okorn's team dictated the tempo in the overtime and grabbed its second win this season with free throws from Jefferson. However, Mulalic outscored his point guard 18-16 in this matchup. For the still winless Karpoš, Labovic led the way with 18 points. For the fourth consecutive round, the MVP title goes to Zagreb, this time to Cibona's Ante Žižić. The big man led his team to victory over FNP with 19 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists and 2 blocked shots, enough to earn him 31 index value points. Josh Scott had a higher index value, but his team suffered defeat in Sremska Mitrovica, so the MVP title goes to Ante Žižić, who was instrumental in Cibona's 6th win this season. Our top 5 plays review kicks off in Skopje, where Zoran Vrkić shoved off some of his trickery, followed by a baseline dunk. Ron Curry takes the 4th spot on our list with this game winner for Krka in Novo Mesto. Cibona's dynamic duo has been terrorizing opposing defenses this season. This time Žižić knew how to put an unbelievable pass from Šakić to good use. Talented German Kostja Mušidi takes 2nd place with this dunk on a fast break, posterizing 2 MZT players along the way. Marko Simonovic takes the play of the round honors, but not with his jump shot, but with his dunking ability. Another ABBA magazine edition has come to an end, but stay tuned, we will return next week with the review of the 8th round.